Hi, this is Christy from Cultivating Calm. I wanted to take a few minutes and talk to you about negative self-talk. It's one of those things that can really stand in our way from moving forward. A lot of times we can mask that from the rest of, the people we work with, or maybe sometimes even our family or friends, that we're so hard on ourselves. And they're probably having some negative self-talk for themselves too, so they don't always recognize that. But it is something that really can change your life when you address and change that in yourself. And so, 7 years ago, I went to someone, like I'm kind of just talking to you right now, and she said, "Wow, Christy, you're really hard on yourself." She said, "Would you talk that way to your staff?" And at the time, I was managing quite a few people, and I was like, no, I wouldn't say that to my staff. And to be quite honest, I didn't want to talk like that to myself either. But it made me really understand and know that I was not having the same kind of love for myself that I had for others. And one way that, the only way I knew how to change it at the time was that for every time one of those thoughts would come into my head, I would just lay on top of that and just think of the word grace. So if I was really hard on myself, I was like, "Christy, why did you do that? You could have done this or that." I would just say, "Christy, give yourself some grace." Yeah, I would just put the word grace over everything that would come through my head. So, I achieved a lot. I was able to do a lot, but I also pushed myself in kind of an unhealthy way that wasn't really great for myself, right? So I was never like honoring or cherishing or really happy about any of the goals that I had achieved, because all I was thinking about is what could I do that made that bigger? What could I do more? How could I have done that differently? Instead of really stopping, acknowledging, and honoring who I was and what I was doing and how I was doing that. And so, I say, just take any word that like resonates with you. Grace may not be something that you want to like lay over the top, but it may be like, okay, I'm going to take a pause. I'm going to take a breath. I'm going to be like, it's okay. Whatever really resonates with you, do that. And like lay that on top of the word. That's one thing. I have a friend, what she imagines when the like negative talk comes in is she imagines and throwing it into like this garbage can, like in space, right? So it's like whatever you want to do to get rid of negative self-talk, that's great. And the first thing is just starting to acknowledge that, so after a little while of me just adding the word grace over the top, right? And with the word grace, when you think of grace, what do you think of, right? That's really love in action. So it's like giving myself love. And when I was doing that, saying it was okay, it's okay, Christy, it's okay. Then I started noticing that I would just do that when I was stressed. And I thought, that's really interesting. And so then I started noticing it would just like every once in a while when something would come through and I would have this like negative self-talk to myself, it was almost funny because it was so not a part of me anymore. And we really can change the way we think, the way we feel. And this really can help all of our relationships in work, in business, in family, in relationships, however that is. It's just that we have to have that grace, that love, that self-love for ourselves first in order for us to really attract that kind of love, support, and care that we want all around us, right? So it's like a mirror. So when we love ourselves, then that's what is like a mirror out to others, and that's what comes to us. So just a little bit about negative self-talk. If you can acknowledge, see, write down. We all have different tools that work for us, but can be a really big game changer if you just stop, take a breath, and realize that you are important, you're amazing, you're a rock star, and you matter. So I hope you all have a great day. Talk to you later.